Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back. When you talk about stories like we're about to talk about, you have to be careful. You have to tell your audience to assume that everything comes with the word allegedly in front of it. And why is that? Because, well, there were some allegations thrown around against Disney and some of the people that worked for Disney back in 2001 that recently came to light over on Hollywood Reporter and other websites as well. It's not the first time we've heard claims of young people being taken advantage of on sets, but it's the first one that I would say doesn't look so good for Disney, at least recently. And so we're going to jump into it. Stick around, and here we go. Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder. I am trying to get to 50K. Double check you're subscribed. If not, click subscribe. It's absolutely free. It costs you nothing. And all you're doing is supporting the channel. You also click the bell, turn the notifications on completely, and make sure you watch another one of my videos. Because all those steps actually add to a bigger piece of the puzzle. It makes it so you see me in your feed more reliably. It also gets me closer to 50K and closer to embarrassing myself with one of my little stunts. But we'll set all that aside and just jump into this story. Now, this from Hollywood Reporter came out on the 21st. Former child actress Raquel Lee alleges Disney negligent in on-set abuse. Now, I left a word out there, and I did it rather on purpose because, some people get a little squeamish when you talk about what happens to people on set or behind the scenes in casting or any of the other places where these kinds of actions have been taken in the past. And I'm not going to suggest that some of them are reliable and some of them aren't. What I'm going to say is you have to be very careful and you have to continue to imagine everything comes with the word alleged attached to it. Now, her claim is pertaining to the 2001 Disney Channel movie, The Poof Point, asserting that a middle-aged male employee who was involved in the filming aggressively preened and repeatedly, took advantage of her in ways probably that she did not desire. And these are new court filings. The former child actress Raquel Lee alleges that she was repeatedly abused by a Disney worker during the production of The Poof Point. It was an original Disney Channel film, and she doesn't name the perpetrator directly in the suit, just accuses the studio of negligence. Okay, so this has been happening more and more frequently, even with prominent people that are named, where somebody makes an accusation. Now, it's really important when we're this far separated from events, 25 years or more in this case, to look at that through the prism of history and decide, is this stuff lining up? Is this even plausible? And we've seen some cases go to court and decided that this could have happened, even though it couldn't possibly have. You kind of need to use some common sense. This is why it's so important that we encourage our friends and the people that are suffering from these kinds of things in real time to immediately go and get help. It's much easier to prove something in the moment than it is 25 years later. Lots of people's recollections will have changed. The evidence won't be there anymore. And you run into a situation where I have to use a lot of the word allegedly, which I would prefer not to do. I'd rather say definitive statements. Now, Lee was 14 years old at the time, and she claims that a middle-aged male employee who was involved in the filming of the movie did some very bad things to her on multiple occasions in his room at a hotel where the cast and crew were staying during the production of this particular movie in Salt Lake City. And then later, even on the flight back to Los Angeles, things apparently occurred. Now, the alleged assailant regularly whispered explicit things, harassing comments into her ear while on set, and used to try to hug her to get close to her. Now, we've heard these types of allegations out of Disney before, and Disney, maybe took them too seriously. Now here, I'm not going to suggest one way or another. I would like for people to believe other people when they have some kind of evidence. Now, the complaint contends that this misconduct was done in plain view of the cast and crew and could be heard by the sound technicians managing the cast's microphones. But yet, No one at Disney intervened. Now, here's where things kind of get derailed, for me anyway, because even back in 2001, we were very well aware that these kind of things would get you in an awful lot of trouble. And if it were this prevalent, for lack of a better way to say it, and this obvious, certainly and surely other people would have come forward, not just on her behalf, but essentially with some of this evidence. I mean, this was a situation where maybe Disney executives weren't approached with this information, or even if they were, picked the wrong take. In fact, it says so as much here. Lee notes that her professional performance soon noticeably declined and that multiple Disney executives attacked her changed behavior and trauma responses, accusing her of being out of control, causing the movie to go haywire, needing Jesus and having a demon inside her. That's a lot of really very specific statements that she seems to recall. And engaging in activities with a member of the crew at the age of 14. Now, the litigation adds that Disney threatened to and did cancel her role in the then forthcoming production with the studio, which again could be a matter of record. And there may be actual stuff left in the past that exists to prove her case. The problem is, where is it? And why didn't anybody hang on to it? Or did somebody? Got to ask that question as well. Now, Disney declined to comment on the litigation. In a statement, Wingdor and his colleague, Jane Kim, said, over the last decade, countless child actors have come forward to bravely share their experiences of mistreatment by adults in entertainment. As former government prosecutors, our message to the entertainment industry is simple. This conduct is inexcusable, and those involved, directly or indirectly, must be held accountable. And you know what? With that, I can agree. If this alleged incident did actually happen, and they can tie it to, obviously multiple women or multiple incidents, I think you should run forward. Now, Lee's represented by Wingdor as essentially the prominent attorney in this particular field when it comes to this kind of misconduct. A lot of stuff that this attorney's been involved in have been successful in the litigants or on the litigants' behalf. Now, the complaint, of course, goes on to suggest that Lee went on to recur as a voiceover artist on a Disney Channel animated sitcom, The Proud Family, and recently participated again in Disney's revival of The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, with, of course, a more woke and DEI edge, and also worked at the company when she appeared on FX's Snowfall in 2019. So it's not like she was shadow banned out of Disney. It's just, well, she lost opportunities and likely more acting revenue when she was younger because this happened to her all the way back in 2001. And that's something that you may have to decide for yourself. Again, in front of everything we are saying is the word allegedly. And that's the problem. If, and I do mean if, we are going to be successful in stomping out these kinds of situations, we have to encourage people who are put in them to come forward immediately and to not be timid in doing so. And also maybe guarantee that it won't affect their future career. Because I think that might be the only path forward if we want to get out of this particular rabbit hole, which seems to be popping up everywhere in the entertainment industry and even in the news media. And with that, I'll say this. What do you think about these allegations? What do you think about entertainment in general when it comes to these kinds of practices? And do you think this happens more than we know? Or do you think we hear about the sensationalized cases and perhaps maybe we are being put upon to take it more seriously for that reason because somebody has an axe to grind? I mean, a lot of people argue that, Time's Up and similar movements kind of help to defeat some of the badness in this world. And at the same time, you ended up with things like the Amber Heard case, which well, may have squashed a movement that was sorely needed. Anyway, your opinions are valuable here, so let me know what they are down in the comments section below. As always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. Hopefully watching that was produced with a little more ethical base.